Bite Cooking Studio, and where there's a very interesting afternoon for us. We've had a Parsi Culinary Legacy Series. And this Culinary Legacy Series is something you started, Rushina. What's it all about?
Ever since we started APB Cook Studio, I've wanted to create a space that celebrates food cuisines that we don't really remember anymore. And from December last year, we've been featuring different cuisines every month.
So which are the other?
We've done Uttaranchali food, we've done Irani food, we've done Assamese food, we've done Northeast states, so an entire meal featuring different dishes from the Northeast.
Maharashtra.
And we did a Maharashtrian Mejwani, where again we talked about different regional cuisines of Maharashtra.
They've done an Iranian Culinary Legacy Series before, and today Kurush, you're doing one on Parsi food. So shouldn't Parsi food and Iranian food be the same?
One would suppose it was, but it actually isn't. The Parsis have been here away from Iran for at least the last 1,000 years.
1,000 years, huh?
Yes, and in that much time, they have almost completely forgotten, apart from some, basic genetic memories, what Iranian food was. So the Parsis of Mumbai today have become incredibly vegetable averse.
Yeah.
But this wasn't really the case, and there's an enormous variety of dishes in rural Parsi cooking or traditional Parsi cooking, which incorporate almost every single vegetable that you can find.
What are the Indian influences on Parsi food?
So the Indian influences are essentially West Indian influences. So that's a lot of influence from Gujarat coming down into the Sanjan region and that region in which the Parsis have flourished, and a lot of Maharashtrian influences too.
Rushina, when I was reading your book, Pinch of This, Handful of That, I remember you'd written about the dhansak and the certain memories of your garden. What is that about?
So for the longest time, I thought Parsi food was dhansak, because I used to study at a boarding school called Mayo, and we had Gul auntie, Gul Marfatia, and she was an amazing lady who took like 30 of us, and in boarding school we behaved like we were starved. So 30 of us kids would be taken home every second Sunday on our day out, and there would be dhansak, and there would be like piles of the brown rice and those little meatballs, and you wanted to get there first, so you'd get some of the meatballs, because if they ran out, then there weren't any more.
So can you take us to because you've got dishes today which are all about Parsi heritage, right? So can you take us
So
to
essentially what you're seeing over here on this platter is the dhan dar.
Okay.
Dhan is dhan or white rice.
Okay. Oh,
Dar is dal. It's a plain yellow dal, normally a
and
mix.
sorry, did you say dar like with an
Dar,
R, like
dar,
Russia?
yeah.
Not L. Oh.
So it's not called dal in Gujarati, it's called dar.
Okay.
Okay, so there's dhan dar, there's the onion birasta, which is again memories of Iran.
Also,
Okay.
I've seen it in Muslim food as well.
Yes, very much, because a lot of Muslim food came from there to India.
Okay.
Okay, so there are a lot of Iranian influences. These are fried Bombay ducks,
Okay.
and that's completely
But
West Coast.
I've seen that the Parsi Bombay ducks are more juicier than the Marathi Bombay ducks, which are like pressed.
See, the Marathi Bombay ducks are normally pressed under stone and are allowed to lose the water content of the meat. The Parsis don't like that. They like them jelly-like.
juicy-
They like them juicier.
Okay.
So
what else?
these are the Parsi Bombay ducks.
What is this?
These are sarias, which are tapioca wafers,
Okay.
and which are a more modern entry. There's the Gajar Mevanu achar here, which again is reminiscent of a lot of tastes that the Parsis are used to. The sweet, spicy, dry fruit filled pickle. This is probably something that is closest to Iranian food.
Oh.
Now this is something called bhaji dana ma gos,
Wow.
and that's mutton cooked with 4 different kinds of leafy greens and cooked with peas. So very much like a gourmet sabji, which would be of course more liquid and which would have chickpeas.
What is gourmet sabji?
So gourmet sabji is a
community
typical
that?
Iranian dish,
Ah, okay.
which consists of chickpeas and a lot of greens
Yeah.
cooked with meat in a soupy mix.
Okay. What is this?
This is something that is,
You're calling it a heart attack on a
this is
plate,
called
right?
cardiac arrest in a bowl, since it's in a bowl over here.
Ah.
This is corded eggs or malai parida.
Ah.
So that's eggs cooked on clotted cream.
What are these two?
So this is titorima margi. Now titori are bitter beans or wild beans. So these are soaked and allowed to sprout. You pop their skins off and you cook them with a coconut milk based masala,
So a lot of vegetables in the food.
and but with chicken in it.
Ah, okay.
So there's always a little something non-veg. So this bhaji dana ma gos. It's not gos ma bhaji dana. It's titori ma margi.
And ghost being mutton.
Gos being mutton. Now
And what is
this probably is the ultimate example of fusion as far as the Parsi is concerned. This dish is called a sauce.
Okay.
S-A-H-S.
Okay.
It's essentially a corruption of the word sauce.
Okay.
This has got an Iranian influence. You can see the birista on top.
Yeah,
There's the onion birista, there are the fried garlic
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah.
That's completely Iran. Okay. It's made with prawns. It's essentially west coast of India. There are very few prawns, if at all any, in Iran. Now here, thanks probably to our good friends at Badshah Cold Drink, we have something called the Royal Faluda. And they claim that this is an authentic Iranian dish. So it's basically a rose syrup with sabja, which is completely non-Iranian as far as I'm concerned, very Indian, very cooling in summer.
So Rushina, like the whole smorgasbord of dishes here, which is your favorite?
Well, I love the bombil because I like the succulent fish as opposed to the flat one, and the faluda.
So guys, 18th is the Parsi New Year, and Parsi New Year is not Navroz, which happens in the beginning of the year. That's the spring festival. So Parsi New Year is on the 18th, and Kurush runs this catering called Katie's Kitchen, and they have a special menu which is different from this because this is all culinary legacy food, but the Parsi New Year feast is going to be the festive stuff. So what can we eat on Parsi
So
New
we're
Year?
going to have things like prawn pulao with dansak dal, and we will have patrani machi.
What is Patrani Machi with
Patrani
pomfret,
machi with pomfret, of course,
Yeah,
completely.
yeah.
Parsis will not eat anything traditionally apart from pomfret. We'll have bejana cutlets, we'll have lagannu custard, of
Brain
course.
cutlets,
Brain
yeah.
cutlets, we'll have lagannu custard, which is the Parsi dessert as far as, for festive occasions, it's absolutely eyes wide shut otherwise. And we also have a day on the 23rd, we celebrate the Prophet's birthday. It's
What is it
called
called?
Khordat Sal.
Khadat Sal.
And on that day, we're going to do some very, very typical old school Parsi food. So we're doing something called a Tadino Batero, which is mutton cooked very slowly in palm toddy.
Wow.
So it starts cooking at about 6 in the morning if it's got to be served at 12 in the afternoon.
So Parsi New Year is coming up, and I'm getting hungrier and hungrier, and I hope that you are as well because their food is absolutely fantastic. You can either go to two of my favorite Parsi restaurants, which are Jimmy Boy and Ideal Corner in Fort, or order from Katie's Kitchen and enjoy a Parsi meal at home. So here's signing off with two of my best friends, Rushina and Kurush.
If you guys really like this show that we did, do subscribe to Finally Chop. Keep in touch with what's happening in the food scene in your city, in your country.
Look for contact details for Katie's Kitchen and APB Cook Studio in the description, and please leave comments on what you would like to see over here in future.